Oh hi everyone and welcome to this week's episode of the Mortal Spheres. I was muted in OBS, guys. You could hear me, but chat couldn't. You know, classic. Yeah. Oh hi everyone. Before we go around and say hello to everyone, let's go through our things. You can already see all our social links up there: Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. You can check out our Patreon as well. We have $1. We have there. You can support us over there for as little as $1 a month, and we appreciate every single dollar. Thank you very much. We just had an article go up today from Rene. It's an article all about your first viewer game and playing viewer games on the channel in general, and it's a ton of fun. And I appreciate the people who have mentioned in it. I'm going to make a tweet soon where I shout you all out because you're all wonderful. What else do we have? We have merchandise. Head over to Redbubble and get a crest on your chest. We're also sponsored by Mayhem Press, who created the Dark Matter Alpha, a sci-fi expansion for D&D 5e, and they also have some other expansions, and we'll be exploring one of them next season. We are also sponsored by Bird in the Storm Publishing. Bird in the Storm Publishing write modules for D&D and other TTRPGs. We played one recently. It was a ton of fun. You should go and check it out. It's called Clearing the Midnight Wield. We also have things below the screen. You can check out tabletoploot.com, arasavad.com, and ruinc.com, where you can get 10 to 15% discount on dice, accessories, or maps. And every 10 retweets we award an oddity to a player, so please head over and retweet the tweet so we can tweet about the tweet that you've retweeted. Let's go around and say hello to everyone. Oh hi Jess, would you like to take over the stream?
As soon as I unmute myself. Hey guys, how are ya? I'm Jess, BGM today.
Was that a shot there? As soon as I unmute myself, was that a shot, Jess? Was that a shot?
No, so I thought I was like scrambling, like where's my mouse? I forgot. Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Burst of Hope, playing lots of games and it's possible right now. It's hectic, but not as hectic as Scratticus. But I'm really excited to see. I did listen to the origin stories. Sorry, I couldn't make it. Silly power and all that. But I think there's fuel for fires for later tidbits. Why don't we go over to Zelda? Tell us about Say.
Hi, I'm Zelda, and I'm playing Sei Hanekawa, the limbless but not limbless ex-Olympian who has basically like cool cyborg limbs, and she's kind of nice, but really kind of awkward and not good alone, because she is not a thinker. She is an athlete, which is a weird stereotype, and I'm not making anyone feel bad about being athletic and smart. You can be both. Sorry.
But do you run at 5 in the morning?
I have ran at 5 in the morning.
I remember those days.
Like, it's 5 in the morning in a couple of hours for us, so I mean, yeah, I think I understand, but not on the same level, you know.
Hans Harold.
Some of us have to run at 5 in the morning because if we don't, then we don't get anything else done for the rest of the day. But, you know, that's fine. Missed you last week, Jess. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm playing Harold Yamakawa. We're going to have a lot of fun, and I'm going to reveal nothing about my backstory during the episode.
Sounds brilliant. Sounds not typical at all. Emery. Alice.
Hello, I'm Alice and I play Emery, who's definitely Emery Chapman. Yeah, I really, really like Emery. She is a telepath, which is what we know so far, and she writes stuff.
Good stuff. Juicy bits. Last, but certainly not least, Scrat and Quan.
Oh hi everyone, I'm Scratticus, and I'll be playing Quanbrek. Quanbrek's voice has come a long way since the first episode. I'm sure you can all understand them now. You know, because I've toned it down, but also I imagine you're all attuning to it now, so I can do a bit more. I can always be out a little bit in places and you might be able to keep up.
Oh, it's true. I just started Dairy Girls on Netflix, and we were like, yeah, let's watch it. I don't know, it's like, absolutely have to put on subtitles. I can't understand a thing that you're saying in Irish. Anyways, we all ready to go? Any questions for me before we start? Okay, so before the backstories, I do believe you all escaped the desert in one form or another, sans Harold. Yeah, so we have Harold out being a lonely boy in the desert. And Emery had just phased in, or was about to. We didn't finish your phasing in. So we got Quan. Did you ever come off the ceiling? I think you did. You swam down. You swam down. You threw Philip down. Yeah.
I did. I swam down.
Mm-hmm.
But Emery just noped out, as I recall.
I was out of there.
Took a big old run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Why don't we start with Say and Quan? So you guys are in the White Room. And it's just as you left it. So you're realigning with the room and you're trying to figure out what exactly just happened.
Now see. I've been thinking.
Yeah, about?
Dangerous.
All of this. Just all of it. Now if you think about it, we've got a whole bunch of places that we can go. Which aren't quite like real life, right?
Yes, I believe that's true.
So much like many years ago when we were first exploring space and visiting the moon and Mars and all that sort of thing. We could go to these places and learn things. Like experiments.
True. So the room is like, doesn't become the space though, does it? Or does it just resemble the place you want to be?
As far as I'm concerned, you're the expert on this. You're the one that took us all the places.
Well, when the doctor told me about what it was, we weren't trying to travel away from the room. We were turning the room into something, or to look like something, or like another place. We weren't going from the room to somewhere else.
But we kinda did though, didn't we? Because we took a car.
It's kind of like we imagined we drove to another place. The room is like being in an imagination that we can control together. Like, if that makes sense.
An imagination that we can control together.
Yeah. Like a hive mind imagination room. Because, I mean, even in the desert area, you could still think up things that just became real, right?
That's right, yes. I could still summon random smoothies and drinks and things.
So at that point, we were still in the room. The room had just changed what it looked like.
As you guys have this conversation, we're gonna flash to Emery. You had noped out of the desert. You're just like, okay, Harold, yeah. Gave him an image of the White Room and your two semi-dinkusy friends, and you translate. But I need you to roll me a perception. So it'd be an intellect roll. Ooh, buddy. You get a very uncomfortable feeling, like you're being squeezed through a very thin, like a straw. Instead of seeing all the rips and tears or maybe windows that you've been familiar with noticing, you get nothing and you get sucked through this straw. Then you pop out into the room right in between Quan and Say having this conversation. How do you react?
Oh. Okay. Where's Harold?
Well,
Is he not come through
Are you-
yet?
are you in my head or are you here?
I think I'm here.
Quan, roll me
Right. In your head?
roll me a perception, Quan.
I can't remember if I'm good at that or not. No, I'm not good or bad at it. Is that just an intellect?
Mm-hmm. You are not sure if you believe Emery or not, so you're going to take it at face value that Emery's present, but also not going to rule out the possibility that they might just be in your head. Go ahead.
If I was to tell you, Emery, that no, that's me, Harold. If I was to tell you that Harold really likes the last meal in a dessert, the last course of a meal, would that mean anything to you?
I think he's
Okay,
trying to
I've
make
said
it
again,
a
you
desert.
completely froze out the entire thing.
Oh, I heard.
Sorry, my internet cut out.
Yeah, I don't know
I
why
mean,
I've been doing that.
I can see Emery, right?
Absolutely, right in front of you. Poop.
I mean, Quan, we can both see her, and she kind of came at the same time. So I mean,
Yes, but you just said that this is a room that we all control with our imagination, so maybe she's actually just a manipulation of our imaginations, and that means that she's not real at all.
but she would be what we see her as, right? So I mean, if she knows, she'll know anything that we know, right?
Can we imagine people here?
I mean, I imagined a second version of you.
Is no one concerned Harold isn't here?
Oh, Harold will be fine.
We were told he actually recurses the easiest of all of us.
Right, okay. He's still not here.
No, he's a bit deserted.
Can I try and imagine a door opening to that desert? Just like a regular front home door that I can open and the desert is there?
Yes. Sorry, I got distracted by the cat in the
Okay.
background.
I can- Also, I do have rerolls. I'm probably going to end up using a reroll on this, but...
You've got tons of rerolls, don't even worry.
Oh, a 19. I don't have to use a reroll.
Off to a good start. Okay, so how do you imagine this door?
I am just imagining a door in the middle of the room and it just opens, and when I open it, from one side, you can see me, and the other side, when you look in the front way, it's the desert where we were.
Okay, so a door opens right in front of you, and it's like the back door, like a sliding glass door to your yard. So you kind of slide it open, not blasted with hot air, but you seem to see things through a blurry focus. Like you'd need to adjust the dial and the apertures to really get a good read. A lot of orange, a lot of browns, and you might see a speck of black, like it'd be the top of his head, but you can't make out a whole lot.
I'm gonna try and just stick my face past the threshold of the door. See if that clears. Yes, I'm gonna see if that clears things up. So I'm gonna do that. Harold.
First, I'm going to need you to make a speed check. A speed check to stick your head through the mirage.
Yep. I am going to use a reroll on that.
Yep.
Not as bad.
Okay, so the first one, you kind of get really eager and you shove your face in and you feel your nose press into what feels like glass and you're No.
I do have an edge of 2 in speed, by the way. It
Yes,
just doesn't show me.
that's fair.
Okay.
And the second time you try, you're able to get through the door with your head, and you do feel like that oven heat intensity, the dryness of the desert, but you're in the middle of a sandstorm, which is probably why it's not as easy to focus in on. So like you can't make anything, you're just getting pelted with little sand gristles in your ears and your nose holes, and it's not pleasant. Do you want to keep trying, or you pull your head back in?
I do want to see if I can get Harold's attention if he's not having a good time, because he's still there. Yeah. See if I can like wave my arms. See if I can get his attention that way, as well as yelling his name.
Okay. For funsies, roll me a d20 straight.
Yes, no. A 17.
Awesome. And before we resolve that roll, we will flash to Harold. Harold, you watched all of these giant scorpions that you were bloodthirsty for. You just wanted to rip them apart and shred them and beat the crap out of them. And you're like, wow, the sandworm ate all of my fun. And I imagine you side-eyed your friends. You're like, they left. I guess I could leave. If you look off into the distance at the horizon point, you see what looks like to be a little mound, a little darker than the sand that you're currently on, but there's a singular palm tree, there's a plastic lawn chair, and if you concentrate real hard, there might be a fruity drink with the condensation dripping down the edge of the glass with a little fancy umbrella off in the distance. What are we doing here in the desert?
Yeah, I'm going to go that way because that's probably Quan. So I'll lope off in that direction.
Okay. Cool. As you're walking away, you seem to hear a little like buzzing in your ear, or maybe in the distance or above you. You can't really tell. It's coming from somewhere, but you hear vague echoes of Say trying to shout out your name. But you can't hear where it's coming from.
Okay, well, I'll stay aware, but continue in the direction of that lawn chair.
Say, from your vantage point, you see this blurry black dot just trotting away from you, and you realize that's the top of Harold's head. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Oh boy, I really don't want to go into that sandstorm. I'm gonna pull my head back in, and... Quan?
Hey, Jay.
Can you keep this door open? Just
Give me
don't,
5 minutes.
Just don't let it shut. That's all I'm asking. Just make sure it stays here.
Can I imagine a Monsters Inc. style door clamp?
I will absolutely allow that.
That holds the door open, because obviously the clamp overlaps and I'm leaving it open rather than closed.
At this point, I believe you're the one who's manifested objects into this room the most, so I'd say it's a fairly easy task for you to do, and you're able to get it. And it comes down like at the arcades, you have that claw machine trying to get the toys, and at first imagination, it like grabs behind the door and misses. So if it would take you a couple tries, but eventually it clamps onto the door and keeps it open. Emery, how are you handling all of this?
I think at the moment she's not sat down, but she's taken a step back and she's just listening.
Surprise.
but with her mind rather than her ears.
Mind rather than her ears. Okay, so now when you say that, do you mean you're also mentally feeling out like intention and emotion, or you're trying to actually hone in on someone's thoughts?
She's not necessarily trying to hone in on someone's thought. She's trying to work out what's around her. If she can hear Say and Quan, she wants to see if there's anyone else here because she doesn't trust these rooms at all.
Okay, so fair. This is very fair. Harold, you're making your way across the desert with surprising ease. Did you leave your mini Wolverine claws on? Or
Yes, they're definitely on.
Okay. You don't see anything aside from this hill, and you're able to get there, and it's as you suspected. A cold drink, a palm tree with some shade, and a chair.
Well, I look around. Quan's clearly nearby. No.
You see no Quan.
I pick up the drink. What does it smell like?
Roll me a d20.
This is a perception skill or just rolling a d20?
Just rolling a d20.
You have a chart of different margarita flavors. You're going to see how that goes. Okay.
It smells like it should be a margarita, but it's got some weird spices. Maybe it's a hint of nutmeg, almost like chili pepper spice kind of hits your nose. And you're like, it's the exact same color of a margarita, like light pale green.
Okay. I'm going to drink some of it.
Right now, you haven't had a drink this whole time you've been in the desert. So this is absolutely refreshing. It hits the back of your throat and you're like, ooh, icy cold. Not even, oddly enough, the ice cubes inside of it didn't water down. So there's no like dilution of the flavor. How is your spice tolerance, Harold?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Moderate?
Okay. So you can feel the burn, but it's not something that would be unpleasant to you. Imagine a little bit less than a Fireball whiskey.
Okay, yeah, that brings me back to high school. Sure.
So you stood there, you picked up the drink, and you drank it, or at least took a sip of it. Is there anything else? You still know Quan. It seems to be...
Well, who else is going to pitch a lawn chair in the middle of a desert underneath a palm tree?
It's a good question.
And there's no signs of other people anywhere around here, huh?
Not at the moment, no.
Well, I don't see Say anywhere. So I guess the next best thing to do is to sit in this lawn chair.
It creaks as you put weight on it, but it holds. But it's that really stiff, those plastic bands that if you were wearing just like your swim trunks and your bare back, it would just not be comfy to get back up from. For you, it's fine because you're clothed. Nothing out of the ordinary thus far as you sit. Do you have the drink still in hand?
Yes.
Are you going to take another sip or are you just going to hold it?
Yeah, I'll probably work on this for a little bit here.
Okay. Would you say Harold's the kind of guy that cracks open a shot of scotch and slowly sips it in the evenings, or any sort of drinks? Or is he a fairly straight-laced kind of dude nowadays?
You know, Harold is actually supposed to be taking several medications, so he is pretty straight-laced, but, you know, if he sips this, he's probably going to feel bad about it, but not stop.
Okay. So, though it's one drink, it's made strong enough that you're going to start feeling the buzz here pretty soon. And everything feels hunky-dory to you. You're like, I'm just chilling. I finally got some peace and quiet.
Mhm.
No crazy Quan going on here. Paranoid Emery, Say's not running around, and you just have a moment of respite to yourself to kind of think about what's been happening in the past. Who knows? Because you guys haven't seen the light of day. How long it's been.
So, like 2 days ago, Harold would have been overjoyed. This is exactly all he wants. There's no one around, and there is nothing that he has to do, and there's no one who's going to judge him for doing anything. It sounds great, but now he also starts thinking about the fact that there's no Say running around, and there's no Emery being paranoid or talking in people's heads, and there's no Quan, and this chair didn't catch on fire or turn into something that was some sort of trap or fly away, and it's a little bit disconcerting now.
Absolutely. So what you would assume to be just a relaxing spot on a desert escape is just causing you a little bit of a nagging anxiety, I would say then. By the time you finish the drink, the sun seems to have passed, so it's giving you a good chunk of shade that perfectly hits you as you're sitting in this chair. And the shade is a lot colder than it would be on Earth. And you start to see in the shade, if you look down at the ground, you start to see some gold shimmering. If you looked at it hard enough, you would kind of feel like this is familiar to you. Thanks for the bits.
Michael Wayne is restoring justice to the Phantom Rollboost odd number of bits problem.
You feel a weight in your pocket, and it's that mug that you acquired in the room. What's Harold want to do?
Well, the responsible thing, unfortunately, and start figuring out how he's going to go from here back to the room.
Roll me you're what? You are specialized in solving things or
I think perception is the thing I'm specialized in. I have abilities related to solving problems, but I don't think I actually have any sort of skills for that.
Well, okay. So, does Harold perceive being at this retreat of the island in the desert as a problem at the moment?
As in a problem to be solved? Or as
Sure.
in a... Yeah, I mean, this is something that he's going to look to solve.
Okay, then I would go ahead and roll me a perception. I can give you a little bit more.
Okay, let's do a perception. I have buttons for this. I am finding them. Boop.
You haven't quite figured out why the shadows are shimmering and why they're cold, but you're really
Well,
curious about the mug in your pocket.
the responsible thing to do at this point would be to use one of these rerolls I've been gifted by chat. So
Yeah,
I should
absolutely.
probably do that. Excellent. Even worse.
Yeah, that buzz is really hitting. You're like, this is fun. This is fine.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is my stomach is empty, and apparently I probably should have planned this better because I'm in the desert now.
Mhm.
So the lesson we're learning is don't drink a margarita in the desert after you've been out in the sun all day with nothing in your stomach. Yes.
What? It sounded like a good idea at the time.
Not really, but that's okay. Not what games are about.
Nah. Yep. So again, nagging feeling. All you're like, there's something related to that shadow, and you might get a little bit of a cold chill because it's covering you. But the only thing you can think about is that mug in your pocket.
Okay. So Harold's still fixated on the mug. This is Harold going into overdrive. He's got the mug out of his pocket. I'm going to try to scoop up this gold glittery stuff using the mug. Are you getting an odd number of bits again?
No, actually, we got one reroll for Harold and one for Emery.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, as he shovels food in his face and tries to avoid Hildy eating his food. Quan will take care of that later. Ooh, okay, so as you take out the mug and you go down to scoop the sand, you realize your mug is full of that same margarita mix, but purple this time.
Okay, as long as we've covered the purple part. Okay. Well, if 1 was a bad idea, 2 is a worse idea, isn't it? Wait, I have a mug. Does it taste the same?
Wow, all this gold is for me?
If you were to close your eyes, it would taste the same, but your perception of purple makes it, you want it to taste like purple, but it still tastes the same.
It's even worse. Seems like it should be different, but it's not. Now it's a mystery.
So are you going to try and empty your mug by drinking it?
Okay, so for everybody out there playing a role-playing game, my personal theory is when your GM says something like that to you and they make that face, you say yes.
Ooh,
Okay.
howdy. All right, good, perfect. Because you drank it, you get lovely headiness. Is Harold a let loose kind of drunk, or he's kind of just a quiet drunk?
That's
Or is
a
he
really
giggly drunk.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. Let's do that one. Because Alice is very excited about that.
Yeah, that one hits you because you're like, I'm gonna down it. I need this mug. I want to use this mug. And you're like, clearly, the logical answer is to drink the drink inside of the mug. Doesn't refill. And you're good to go, but you are feeling super happy.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay. I've got this mug.
Mhm.
I'm gonna scoop up the golden glitter. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You scoop it up, and you hear some gibberish from the mug, a little bit.
Uh-huh.
It's a little unintelligible, but it makes you, I would say it makes you giggle a little bit.
Yeah.
It's
That's
quite
really
amusing. It's like instead of holding the seashell to your ear and hearing the ocean, you hear.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of that receptionist lady at the building. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And we will pan back to Say and Quan and Emery as you are holding this mug to your ear. Oh boy. What are you guys doing?
Also,
Say you wanted Quan to hold the door. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, thank you very much, Michael Wayne, who donates a D6 for Harold to use as well, because that must surely avoid a bad roll.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so say you wanted Quan to hold the door open. They successfully did so. Why? Where are you going?
I was looking to go in, but now I can't see him, can I?
Not at the moment.
Seems like a bad idea to try and chase someone I don't know if they're still there in the desert during a sandstorm.
Up to you.
I want to try something, but I also want a second opinion. So, Quan, being a smart person,
Yes, hey. How can I help you?
If my idea about the room being kind of like our own imagination, you know what I mean? Like we all imagine and then the room changes to what we're imagining kind of thing.
Yeah.
Could we imagine Harold here without him being in the desert and then communicate with him that way? He would see us in the desert, but we wouldn't. But he would be here in front of us.
Do you know, it's interesting. When you mentioned earlier that you made another one of me, I thought about it and I thought, well, what if we could make different versions of all of us? Like a version of Harold that's really talkative, and a version of you that's, I don't know, you know what, say you're just fine the way you are.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we could do that, but wouldn't that person only be... They'd only know what we knew?
You could try out different enhancements in here.
I mean...
Like, you could, you know, you've got your arms and legs there that are go really fast. Well, you could try out different things in here. You could look up the latest, greatest things and be like, well, I'll try it out in this room. Race yourself. See which one's quicker. This could be the ultimate training thing for you. Congratulations.
That does sound really fun. But we have to deal with Harold Alpha, like the one that we're not thinking, the real one that we came in here with.
Is that how we're referring to the original versions now, is Harold Alpha?
Yes. I think Harold Alpha is a good indication of the one that came first.
It's as good as anything, I suppose.
So how do we get...
I was just going to say let's call it Harold, and that way we know it's the real Harold.
I mean, that would work too, but if you have more than one Harold, you'd just be calling them Harold and Harold and Harold and so on and so forth, and it gets a little bit too much. That's just my opinion.
Well, yes, I suppose. Alright. What was I supposed to be helping with?
We're trying to get Harold back into the White Room with us, and not into his version of the White Room, which is currently the desert, I think, unless he's gone somewhere else while we were here.
Say, roll me a perception, please.
Where do I find that?
It's a straight intellect roll, unless you have like a skill or something.
Okay. That is an 11.
Okay. As you guys are contemplating how to get Harold out, from behind you, like directly behind you, say, you hear, "Oh my goodness! Isn't it good to have you all back here? What have you done? What is this door? Please tell me." And if you jump behind you and turn around, you see this woman in red. That, you guys met her, right? It was Emery?
Yes.
Okay, you all have met her at this point. So you see the doctor in her black trench coat and just doting over what you've done. Please, explain this door. How did you get back? Where did you go? Wait, 1, 2, 3. You're not all back. Please tell me more.
No, we're not all here.
Right.
Or we're not all there.
No. Huh. Okay.
We could send retweets as well.
So...
We're waiting for Harold.
You're waiting for him, you say, darling.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If I am correct, and I think you told me and confirmed that the room changes to what we think and where we want to be, then Harold is in this room, but we can't see him.
That is an interesting theory.
Maybe he's, I don't know. I've heard about vibrations. I don't know. Maybe a different kind of like radio frequencies.
I see. Okay. What about you? What about you, Emery? What do you feel is going on with this room, or do you think how are we gonna get to Harold?
She looks this, she doesn't trust this woman at all. Don't know. He'll probably turn up.
You're not worried about him at all, though? I mean, okay. All right,
It's Harold. He can look after himself.
You know that from an indeterminate amount of time you've spent with him here in this room, you haven't really spoken much to him, but you are very confident in his survival skills. Interesting.
He can handle and carry Quan. He's fine.
Quan, how much do you weigh?
When last I checked, nearly 100 pounds.
Oh. Yeah, that's a slight little boy. Sandbags are easier to carry. Okay. Say, again, this door. What are you expecting to do? I don't see anything out of it. What is the point of holding this door here?
The door itself was actually supposed to connect us straight to Harold, because he was in the desert. And then I tried to call to him through the door, and I don't think he heard me. He walked in a different direction.
That would make sense. I see. And are you guys trying to extract him from the place that you were?
Kind of. I mean, I'm sure if he really thought about it, he could get back, but I don't know if he's in a big rush right now to leave.
Okay.
That's all.
Well, I'm not supposed to be helping you guys. Being a study and all that. But it seems like you're doing a good job on your own discovering these powers, so, and she just skips Tiptoe all over to the door, and she just waves her hand in front of it, and you see the gold shimmers running around right in front of it, and it's like, it's in focus, but in focus in a new place. And instead of the top of Harold's head, you see Harold's behind a palm tree, sipping something out of a mug, and then you see him scoop sand, and he starts putting it to his ear.
So I'm watching Hildy a little bit.
I know, me too. Weak for cats.
Can I talk to him now? Will he hear me if I poke my head through the door?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe you should try. Please, poke your head through the door. I just can't wait to see the results.
Oh, okay. I'll give it a shot. And I'll make that same speed check.
Yeah.
Would you like to go through the door, Dr. Miss?
It's a 14.
Oh, me? No, that would be breaching the study. I shouldn't manifest.
Nonsense. It's just inspecting the study. You can see how in detail a thing we've produced.
Are you trying to deceive me, dear Quan?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, this is your experiment, not mine. And as you guys have that little quip, Say dunks her head through the door, and you can... What do you do? I mean, you see him, but he doesn't notice you, and you might see him chuckling a little as he has his mug to his ear.
Harold. Harold.
Harold, you can... amidst all of amidst all of the gibberish, you do hear Say's voice coming through, saying your name.
Say?
I'm behind the palm tree.
You hear the echo of Harold, so you can hear him live, but it's like a half-second delay as his mug microphone comes through to you. So you're like, say. And are you trying to get up off of the chair, Harold?
Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay, yeah. I'll stand up and try this. Say.
Yeah, you stand up. You might stumble a little bit, but everything's okay. But you don't see Say through your mug or around you as you just stood up and just kind of turned your head.
Have you ever played like hot and cold, like, you know, when like you need to get closer to something and someone goes warmer, warmer? Have you ever done that? You know, as a kid?
Are you talking to me, Say?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's really easy to explain. If you
I
come
can't get
close,
much closer to this mug.
why are you talking into your mug?
Why are you talking out of my mug?
Why is my voice coming out of your mug?
Quan, if you're looking at the door, and Emery, if you're looking at the door, you can clearly see Quan or Harold having a conversation through his mug.
I don't understand how everything around here works. I haven't figured this one out yet, Say.
We can see Harold through his mug.
No, you can see Harold through the door, but you can see Harold talking to his mug and looking at his mug, and a little more animated than normal.
I thought we had a genuine mugshot for a second.
No.
Okay, it seems like you can't see us.
I mean,
But-
I can see it's just purple down there, Say.
Has he been drinking?
So-
I think so.
Say you see that Harold stood up, but he's just standing by the chair. You told him that you were behind the tree, but he did not move anywhere behind the tree. He's still in shadow.
Are you sure it's Harold?
I mean, I think so, but he's really not acting like Harold. Hey, Harold, we're in the White Room. We're not in the desert
Okay.
anymore.
Right.
Do you know how to get back here?
I don't really think so. Hey, hang on. Which palm tree? The one back here?
The only palm tree, I think.
I am now looking in the direction of the palm tree.
You see the palm tree. It's got beautiful layers of palm tree husky goodness. And it's providing you with the coolest shade you've ever experienced. Do you look around the palm tree?
Yes, I'm now looking around the palm tree.
Okay. Say you still have your head through the door, right?
Yes.
Okay. So as Harold peeks around the palm tree, he's now like 1080p close face right to you, and you can see the pores in his face. He is uncomfortably close to your face. And Harold, you see nothing.
If I put my arm through, could I grab him? Oh boy, I didn't like that laugh.
How would you like to do that?
I want to see if I can grab him by a piece of his clothes, like his shirt or a jacket, and see if I can pull him
Straight up
through
grab
the
his
door.
collar, pull him. Okay.
I am wearing a big canvas poncho.
It's true.
I'll
You
say-
are wearing the great poncho.
Okay, Harold, you might feel a tug. Just don't fight it. It may be how you get back to the White Room.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna try and grab his shirt and pull him through the door.
Okay. With your lead ability, do you have anything related to that at the moment? We've only seen your speed skills and abilities.
I do have, give me a sec. There's one where it allows, if I'm giving an idea. Where are you? It is here. Somewhat of a social expert. You're trained one specific social skill. Nope, that's not it. Good advice. If you have a clear mind for determining the best way to proceed, when you give another character a suggestion involving his or her action, the character is trained in that action for 1 round. That is the closest thing I think I have for...
Okay. You see the doctor standing next to you and just like fascinated by what's going on. And she sees your head and she's like, oh dear, he can't see you, can he?
Nope. Not yet.
Interesting. So there's a resonance field disturbance. Okay, well, you could try to tug him through. That would be a fun little experiment.
We are hoping that that experiment is going to work.
Knowing that he can't see you, and she said something about resonance field, you realize you guys aren't exactly on the same plane. So it's going to be quite a hefty little task to just be able to grab him by the poncho. If I had to put a number to it, I will tell you it is a level 7 task.
I will probably be using rerolls for this, but it's a might.
You could use speed or might. I could justify either for you, whichever one's better. And at a level 7, it's a 21, so you at least have to spend 1 point of effort. At this point, I think you guys are tier 2 still.
Yes.
So you have up to 2 levels of effort you could expend, which would cost you 5 out of whatever pool before edge.
Okay. We'll use my speed roll.
Okay.
And I will be re-rolling that.
Okay, before you re-roll,
yes.
Are you doing both 2 levels of effort to reduce the difficulty?
Yes. So
Okay.
that is a 7
down
point.
to a 5. So yeah, it would be 5 total points, but you take it out of your edge first. So if you have an edge of 2, it would be only 3 points out of your pool.
Okay.
And no ciphers or anything else that would be relevant here?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Reroll away!
That is a natural 1.
It is. Take it or leave it. Do you have any more rerolls?
I think I have lots. I had I think 6 at the start of this episode.
I still can count 4 at least, even with that one you just took off.
Yeah.
I don't want that that 1. I'm gonna give 1 more and take it or leave it.
Okay, you do need a 15.
That is not a 15, but
Yep.
I think I'm just gonna
Cut your losses.
that. Yep.
All right.
How many rerolls was that total?
That was,
That was 3.
Okay, 3, wow.
2.
yes.
Right? 2 rerolls out of that one. So you reached through the door, and it seems to not want to let your hand go through. So it's a very not speedy process as you would normally be able to zip zap zoop your hand through. And you grab a hold of his poncho, but you take no purchase on it. And Harold, you get a cold sensation around your collarbone.
Huh.
Okay, Harold.
Yeah.
I tried to grab your collar, but whatever is between where you are and where I am is not letting me get a real hold on you.
Your hands are really cold, to say.
They are metal.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Lord have mercy, this is quite an interesting little conundrum. Okay, so Say wasn't able to grab hold of Harold. Well, it's about time Harold does something on his own, isn't it? Oh, but who am I to say? I won't tell him that. How are you reacting to this, just like, the scientist that you've seen? I think you were out of the room when she first appeared to everyone, but you obviously saw her in the recursion midway point talking to the other two scientists. So she's just like having a good old time commentating on all of your shenanigans right now.
And I can hear all this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Say, tell the doctor I'm just going to go over there. I'll be right there. Put my mug in my poncho pocket and walk forward with the intention of traversing the dimensional barrier, however we want to say that.
For you, Harold, this just seems like straight up obvious. You're like, naturally, should logic lead me here, I just have intention to go. That's it. That's what I do. And you're just like, haha. Roll me an intellect.
Is this me solving a mystery?
In your mind, you already solved the mystery. In your drunken-ish state, your buzz state, you feel very confident that you're like, there's no problem here. I know how to do this. So okay. I'll give you an asset because of your intentions.
All right. I will just do that then. Here we go. Yes, I would like to take that.
I love it. You take the most confident step in your life, at least in the past 10 years. And you walk right into the palm tree. But while you felt the thud of hitting the palm tree with like your whole body, you also disappear. And Say can see this, everyone can see this through the window, that Harold's gone.
Oh, look, there he goes again.
Need to put a bell on him or something.
I don't think that'll help.
Where did he go?
Well, that's a good question. Where do you guys ever go when you're doing this? This is all new to you, isn't it? Huh. Well, let's see. That's fine. And she's like taking the tiniest little like phone-looking thing and trying to look at it from her pocket, semi-discreetly, but obvious to you guys if you're staring at her.
I'm not.
Listen, we all know you know far more than we do about all these recursions.
I didn't know about that.
Can I reach out and see what she's reading?
Ooh, bitch. Forgot that you can read mine. Yes. Now, which skill do you want to apply to this, or ability?
I've got both telepathic and mind reading.
So the way I remember it, the telepathy is just kind of like creating a link, like a two-way street. And I think the mind reading is more of a, you can read her thoughts.
Yeah, I think I want to read her thoughts. I don't want her to necessarily know that I'm doing it.
Okay. All right. Go. Okay. And that costs, yeah, you spend whatever. You kind of reach out mentally and you feel maybe a little hesitant. This is not something you would exercise often, but she seems pretty open and she doesn't act any different. But as she's reading down, she's like, okay, he's through. Oh, yep, he went through the translation. Yeah, okay. Gosh, he should pop up here soon. Maybe he's gonna take a pit stop. I'm not sure. Well, it's interesting. Okay. Well, okay. from what you can gather from her thoughts, he's in his own version of that blank ether midway point between the translations.
She just sits there quietly. She has sat down now.
Wunderbar. Quan is fine. He's not even rattled by the fact that Harold is just like, meh. Of course I'm gonna walk straight through the palm tree.
It seems normal to me. Doors are made out of wood, trees are made out of wood. You use doors to get from place to place.
It's absolutely normal for you. It's painfully normal for you, in fact. It's like not even remotely interesting. Like he didn't even like produce a bottle anywhere. Jeez.
They're probably in that place behind doors when doors are closed. You know when they're closed and you don't know what's on the other side.
Right. Are you saying that out loud?
Probably.
Okay. Dr. Baines looks at you and is like, how very thoughtful of you, Quan. Interesting. And then we have Harold, who recurs for the first time, as far as you know. And he had a specific request of his theme song, so we'll just play that here. You
Thank you, Jess.
are, instead of darkness, you are definitely, okay, so it is dark, but more like I'm in a dark tunnel situation, and you can see through the tunnel. It's not that long. You can see maybe an octagon, maybe some sort of cage fighting scenario situation here. And there's nowhere else to go but to the cage.
Well, let's go. Nope, still empty. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, you get there and you realize you've lost your poncho. You still seem to have the claws. You didn't take those off. And you got, instead of a poncho, you've got a silky kind of half robe. Maybe one of those things that the boxers wear when they're coming out of a ring. You got some sweet, sweet boxer shorts on. You got some sweet, sweet boxer thread shoes all the way up your shin. You're feeling pretty good. That buzz also translated with you.
Great.
You step in the ring, and the cage goes to 8 separate panels of like screens of all sorts of different places. Funny haired people, blue skinned individuals, more volcanoes. You see all sorts of different places. You even see like a rainy London-esque version. There's just a lot going on in those cages. No opponent or anything. You're just standing in an empty cage. Like you could throw some shadow boxing scenarios here. You do see the white room in the tiniest corner of one of the sides of the screen.
So if I go up to that panel and go put my head up against it, can I see the white room more clearly?
Absolutely.
That's definitely what I'm
Touch
going
it,
to
or
do.
you just kind of lean in.
Oh yeah, I'll have to touch it. I mean,
Yeah, so you touch it, and it's like when you touch a screen and you thought you were only touching it with one finger, and you touched it with 2, and it's kind of like shifting and panning in different spots and maybe zooming in and out in weird ways. You're like, whoa.
that sounds right for a person who just had 2 margaritas. Yeah, that's probably how I would use it.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Academy. Please take your seat.
You can pan it on everyone if you tried to do it. And then if you single it out and just press on it with one finger and you just start tapping, you can kind of get a little like health bar above all your friends.
That's
And you can
weird.
see, various scales. So some have bigger health bars than the others. If you look at the doctors, it's just question mark, question mark, question mark.
Okay, but there's still effectively a screen between me and them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey. Say.
Yeah?
You hear a godlike version of Harold's voice just echoing through the whole chamber. And the doctor's like, oh, goody. I wonder what it looked like for him.
Can you hear me okay without the mug, or do I need this mug still?
Wait, were you talking with or without the mug that time?
That was with the mug.
Try talking without the mug?
This is without the mug.
Can I hear him the same?
Yes, slightly less godlike, but still there.
You don't need the mug, like, right up to your mouth, I think. It still might be
Okay.
microphone-y.
So, you guys are on TV.
I mean, I've been on TV before. It's a thing.
I've never been on TV.
But,
I don't
like-
know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. So maybe I should just walk through this wall too?
You can try. I mean, do you think it'll get you here?
Didn't work last time, so probably yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I should do that.
So the screen is about the size of like a netbook, iPad. It's like a 12-inch screen diagonally.
Looks like we
Okay.
got a nerf
Um,
friend.
Okay, I thought about it a little bit. Even if I jump, I don't think I can get through there. You guys are small.
Okay, I'm gonna try my other idea. Because I really do think you're in this room. It's just we keep thinking our ways around a box when we should just, we're all in the box, you know? The box is the room.
I'm definitely not. It's not a box. It's an octagon.
I kind of thought of it as like an infinite loop.
No, it's got 8 sides.
Are you sure that
Yeah, I counted all 8 sides.
that what you're seeing is us and not just like a picture in your head of us, kind of like creating something that you want to see?
I mean, technically, it looks mostly like you're an iPad, like a tablet.
Okay, this might be really dumb. I'm just gonna imagine you in the room with us. That might.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to try my damnedest to just imagine him in the room, like changing the frequencies of whatever is between us that is stopping us from seeing and hearing each other, and aligning everything together to just.
Do you close your eyes?
Yeah, you know what? I do.
Okay. You close your eyes and you wish with heart of hearts that Harold's
cards.
here with you. And you think so hard. And Harold, you get a little bit of a rumbly in your tumbly right before you want to like burp. That's about it.
I mean, alternatively, say if you don't want to bring Harold to us, we could just go to Harold.
I mean, that would always work. well, maybe not always, but that would probably work.
I've got a good idea of how this recursion thing works now, I think.
Well, absolutely be my guest. I'm just throwing out ideas that I have.
Emery, can you hear Harold at the minute? And I don't mean like that. I mean, can you hear him?
And she sort of shakes her head away from listening to the doctor. She's like, I'll try. And she will try and reach out to Harold.
At this point, you don't have visual on him. You feel it's not a straight up headache or static that you've had before, but it's not comfortable for you to reach out. It feels like it's kind of stretching your brain a little.
No, I can't see him, and it makes it a little bit more difficult, but ow. I mean, I'll keep trying, but
All right. I reckon that Harold's gone to the space behind the doors when you close the doors. So I'm going to close the door. I'm going to open it again. And this time I'd like it to look a bit like a wardrobe that's been neglected for a while. There's dust and maybe a teddy missing an eye back there.
It certainly transforms to that.
That's it. That's the Nexus.
Wait.
The Nexus?
Yes. I thought everyone knew about the science behind wardrobes and why they're always depicted as magical in many different societies and cultures growing up. It's not just Narnia. There's all sorts of things back there. There's the other things as well. You know, like the doorway thing in that video game series, and the mirror thing that you get at the back of wardrobes and all of that sort of stuff.
What an interesting concept.
It's all quantum.
She stares off to the side like she's looking at the office.
Come on, into the Nexus with me.
You're gonna walk through the wardrobe?
Yes.
Harold, you have your hands taped up and you got boxing gloves on now.
Where did my claws go?
They're not puncturing it. They're some heavyweight boxing gloves. As Quan steps into the dresser, what are you imagining when you walk through?
Coats, mostly.
Okay. You get a wardrobe of coats. You have coats aplenty. Everywhere.
Yes.
Bigger on the inside.
You have to work until you end up somewhere else. That's how it works. It's a very exacting science.
You are now in a forest of coats. You just keep going and going and going. It's like the coat rack never ends.
And could I try and recurse, please?
Where are you trying to envision going?
Wherever Harold is. I don't exactly know.
That's a problem, isn't it?
I believe if we were in a spaceship, it'd be like pressing the warp button without putting any destination in. Sometimes you get lucky.
Okay, so before we unravel this recursion
in the universe.
Yeah. Are you sure? Final answer.
I'm very confident. Very confident.
Okay. Say go ahead and roll me a 1d100.
Yes. I will do just that. /RD100? /roll D100.
I don't know. I'm not good at typing things in Roll20.
A 61.
Yeet. Okay. Noted. Won't help you for now. That's fine.
That's okay.
One. Roll me a 1d100. No. a 1d152.
Oh, all of the Pokemon, including Mewtwo.
No, you twit. Oh my god. Don't talk to me for 3 weeks. I'm so angry at you right now. Roll me an intellect roll.
You know what? I'm gonna chuck 2 points of effort at it just for fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I will say with a 10, you could beat it if you are focusing very hard on Harold, not on the whimsy of Narnia.
Well, that's just not possible, and you know it, Jess.
I gave you the option.
It's just not possible. I can't walk through a forest of coats and not think about Narnia.
But Quan?
Oh, has Quan ever seen Narnia?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Do you know, I don't think Quan ever has seen Narnia, actually.
I'm
Didn't
giving
really
you it out here.
didn't really watch much television growing up.
Right. Just fiddling, finagling.
It's kind of difficult to focus on Harold as well, though, because I don't really know much about him.
Mm-hmm. You start to see a lamppost and snow falling.
Who's that?
Everyone take turns muting yourselves, because it's not me.
Who's mute? Whoever's muted now.
Recursion's scary. Say, do you have your phone really close to your mic?
Unfortunately muted, so.
Eh?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm glad my cat wasn't there because
It would be disgruntled.
would have been hit by my phone.
Yeah, I think you legit start to see the codes kind of disseminate, and you see a lamppost and some snow falling in the light of the lamp. You think
Harold!
probably not the right one. Dead
Harold!
silent.
Ah, feck.
Do you like try to turn a corner in the wardrobe, or do you try to revert backwards?
Is there still a wardrobe? That's the question.
You can see the light from the distance. Like it didn't disappear. Like you are still amongst quotes, but you see the quotes are dispersing into reveal. Snowy lamppost.
Then I will backtrack. And try turning a random direction.
Mm-hmm.
Ah! What we need is more chance, more quantum probability. So I'll close my eyes and spin around with my finger pointed out. And I'll go that way.
Roll me a d4.
Oh boy.
Okay. At this point, Harold, I'm going to offer you a GM intrusion. Who would you like to give the XP to?
That's a really good question. I'm actually gaming the system and taking a look around this time. I think I'm going to have to give it to Quan.
Fair enough.
Thank you kindly.
He'll probably need it. Harold, with these gloves on, you feel pretty powerful. Like you've done some working out in the gym, you've done some shadow boxing, you've trained with some fighters, but nothing too serious. And you kind of feel pretty peppy, like you would want to practice, but you're really feeling itching to hit someone right about now.
Yes.
imagine you kind of start hopping on the balls of your feet and you start switching your stance, do some fancy, yeah, there you go.